Hello everyone, welcome to episode 2 of Let's Talk Footy featuring Toronto High Park Football Club. I'm your host Shaheen, and today once again I'm sitting here with some of the Toronto High Park coaches. Today we have a very special guest. We have our club's technical director Garrett Hamilton. We also have Coach Adrian, who's one of our full-time coaches. And for those of you that have been following Let's Talk Footy podcast, we have Ayo back with us. So sit back and I hope you enjoy today's show. Garrett, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you, Shaheen?
I'm great. What have you been up to, Gareth, during the isolation? Can you talk through what the club has been doing for us?
Yeah, we've done a lot. We basically had to turn it around from delivering a physical product on the field to a virtual product. We've tried to make sure that every single member of the club, all 4,000 of them, were able to get something at least once a week, if not twice a week. We've put into place fitness, we've put into place ball mastery, we've been doing a bit of sports psychology with them. We've been trying to get the youngsters socializing with each other on Zoom calls just to have that connection with their friends. We've been trying to do a lot of coach education with our coaches. We've been bringing in guest speakers, some quite high profile guest speakers who I think have impacted the coaches and the way they think. They've definitely helped me with the way I look at things. And yeah, we've been that's AO knocking over his drink. With two little kids in the house, I get that a lot, so it's fine. Yeah, looking after my little ones, so they're not at school, and my wife works full time as well, so looking after those two has been fun. And basically just trying to keep the club going in the right direction, getting ourselves set up for when we hopefully get the balls rolling again. Busy time.
Yeah. And I think slowly we're starting to receive some good news, so hopefully we can get back on the field soon.
Yeah, things are looking positive. We hear good news every day. Sometimes it's two good and one bad kind of bits of news, but we're heading in the right direction. I'm in contact with most of the technical directors in Ontario. We meet up once or twice a week and we discuss things, and we're getting ourselves ready to get back in whatever way we can. We know the children and some of the adults are desperate just to get out there and run around and kick a ball, and it might not be football as we know it, as we left it to begin with, but I think it'll definitely be a step forward from staying in the house, you know.
Yeah, 100%. And as you mentioned, we've been offering a lot of programs, and that brings us to Adrian, who is one of the full-time staff coaches at the club, and he's doing a lot of the high-intensity interval training stuff, ball mastery stuff. You're improving yourself too, Adrian.
Yeah, it's been a joy to do it. I've been getting fitter. I've been noticeably getting a lot fitter by doing them. I do them every Tuesday and Thursday, and just trying to keep it fresh for the kids. That's all. Just trying to keep them engaged as much as I can, and trying to keep myself motivated as well through it. So it's all going pretty well so far, and a lot of really positive feedback from the parents, the coaches, and the players themselves actually. So yeah, it's been pretty good.
For sure. And can you just tell me a little bit about that costume thing with Coach Isla on the Saturday morning?
Yeah, she works with U4s to U6s, so her way of motivating the players has to be a little bit different than how I will have to motivate or Ayo or Gareth. So she comes up with cool ideas like wearing costumes, bring teddy bears, or
that's awesome.
pretty interesting to see. If I do that with my groups, it's not gonna fly. I think people will stop coming because they're older, right?
Yeah, for sure. No, it looked really fun, and I'm looking forward to actually joining one of them if I can find a costume.
Yeah.
And finally, we have Ayo. Ayo, welcome back. Ayo used to be a regular on the show, but he disappeared for a while. How are you, Ayo?
I'm very good, man. How are you?
I'm good. What have you been up to?
To be fair, I've used this time to take a break from football in general. So I haven't really watched games or anything. I've just tried to empty my mind. So when it's time to be back, I'm kind of fresh. So it's been like a long holiday, I would say.
Long holidays.
We're in a bit of a group chat, the coaches, right? And AO's in it. And AO's been posting some deep philosophical stuff. I think he's been hitting the books so hard. I can't wait to hear some of the team talks that he's going to have when he gets back on the field.
Yeah, sometimes I have to do some research after he makes a comment, because So Ayo mentioned he hasn't watched any soccer. To be fair, there hasn't been a lot of soccer on TV, but it's finally back. Ayo, did you watch any of the games today? Bundesliga is back.
I saw parts of the first game. Dortmund versus Schalke.
Schalke, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a bit of it. It was interesting. It looked like one team had been training for the last month, and the other team just started training last week. I think that's the vibe I got from the quality from both.
100%.
So it was a well-deserved win for Dortmund. But what I kind of noticed was it was very slow. So in one way that's good when you're trying to study the actions in the game. But the other question is this the way the game would actually go now without the adrenaline from fans? You know, it was an interesting game. It was an interesting game.
I was having a little thought myself when I was watching it, and part of me is thinking like, there's natural talents, there's naturally top players, and then there's other players who are really good, and they have to maximize everything they do to compete with those top players. And I was looking at Schalke and I was looking at Dortmund, and I was thinking, are Dortmund just naturally better players? And they've both been away from the training ground for so long that Schalke haven't had that chance to close the gap with their physical training, their mental training, their tactical training. So it's just two teams against each other who are naturally quite far apart, and it just showed today because it was pretty one-sided game, eh?
It was. I also wonder if the organizations themselves prepared the players before the game in the right capacity as well. We don't know what's going on behind closed doors, but Borussia Dortmund obviously is very consistent in the past decade or so of competing, while Schalke is all over the place. And it was just interesting to know how much work went on behind the scenes to prepare them for that first game from both teams, because Dortmund was clearly better.
And I'm also guessing that they've probably been going in intervals to the training grounds for a little while, because I know that the Premier League teams are talking about, maybe I think they might have already started it, where they're going in at like 45 minutes at a time, and then they change over and another player comes in. So I'm not sure about the actual fitness levels and that kind of stuff. I just think that was a bit of a display of maybe just a team that wasn't prepared enough. And the Schalke manager, he used to be the Huddersfield manager, and he was I think was Huddersfield or Brighton? I think it was Huddersfield. He was the Huddersfield, and they were always very organised, quite defensive, but always very organised and hard to break down. And I think he would spend a lot of time with teams on the training ground talking about shape, talking about, transitions and that. And maybe they just didn't have time for that for this game.
Or like, let's say it was normal circumstances. I think we wouldn't be too surprised if Dortmund won 4-0. Anyways, you know what I mean? It's just a better team with better players, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
But at the beginning of the game, I was looking at players. The players look like, Gareth, you mentioned this too. It looked like they're having a training session. Like they were all laughing. There's no fans. The subs were sitting apart from each other. Coaches were sitting down with their masks on. So it looked really weird, to be honest. What do you guys think about that? Just looked awkward to me a little bit.
Yeah, I think sometimes people feed off of the environment that they're in to perform. That external stimulus, and the best players have that internal thing that gets them going, right? So, maybe all those things affected the Schalke players a bit more than the Dortmund, because they were maybe more focused and more internally driven than externally driven, right? So that's maybe one rationale for why.
It did look like a pre-season friendly though, didn't it?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Yeah. And Ayo's favorite team tied Leipzig. Did you see that result, Ayo?
I didn't see the result. I've been more excited by Borussia Mönchengladbach in German league than Leipzig actually. I think for a team that it's the first season with the coach, and the way they were playing before all this happened was really, really impressive. So I would think that the team I enjoy the most is Borussia Mönchengladbach, then Dortmund, then Leipzig, and then Bayern started playing pretty decent when they brought in the new coach. But I like Mönchengladbach a lot actually.
You should have picked them on FIFA last night. You went for Bayern. Me and Ayo had a very, very brief game last night, and it was pretty interesting. He made the games 2 minutes long, I think.
Are you
Just got
guys
going.
are you guys practicing for the inter-club tournaments that look like they're going to be happening soon?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, we're thinking about rolling it out and putting the coaches against the players, but it could be quite humiliating for the coaches, eh?
I think
Yeah,
we'll see with the players actually.
Yeah,
I don't think we stand a chance, to be honest.
I still
Maybe
got FIFA 16, so it's going to be a struggle.
You need to upgrade, man. You need to upgrade. But it's good news. I think the Premier League is looking to come back. La Liga, Serie A. Liverpool only needs 2 points, so I think they'll be happy to play and win the title officially. But I think in all the other leagues, it's going to be very tight, especially with Serie A. Lazio, I think, is challenging Juve. That's a big shock to me. I think they're only 2 points behind, or 1. And La Liga, obviously, I'm a big Real Madrid fan, so we'll see what happens with Real Madrid and Barcelona today. But I'm really, really looking forward to watching all those leagues eventually, starting June.
Yeah, I think we need it, right? But like me being a big fan of the Premier League and that, I just need to sit down for 90 minutes and watch my team play. Like I've been missing that so much. It feels like the summer when there's no Euros or no World Cup. You know, your wife tells you you've got to do a job around the house, and there's no excuse. You just got to do the job. You know, so hopefully when the football comes back on, we'll have those excuses again.
One of the biggest things I look forward to the Premier League is maintaining my lead over Gareth and Ayo in the Fantasy Premier League. So that's something I've been really missing. So
But they said they were going to avoid that because of coronavirus. It's avoided.
Obviously, with football back, there's the transfer rumors as well. Have you guys been following up with all that stuff?
Yeah, a little bit. I've been watching a little bit. Bale to Newcastle looks interesting, right?
Is the takeover complete, or is it still in the process?
I don't think it. From what I've read, I don't think it's complete because I think there's people protesting it or something. Or
Yeah.
that's what makes me wonder why. Makes me think it's not complete. But if they do, if that does happen, that move, that guy buys Newcastle, they're going to be up with the best of them money wise. The only problem is the football fair play, right? The same way. Everton's had a big influx of money. Leicester's had a big influx of money, but they can't spend it all without the fair play. And I think people were apprehensive to see how much it was actually keeping people in check. But then Man City have just been hit with a massive ban, so people are now concerned about it, right?
Yeah, for sure. But I would love to see Bale leave as a Real Madrid fan. He needs to go already, man.
I think he'd be good in the Premier League. I mean, Newcastle's probably not the right team for him, but if he was in the right team, his pace is just perfect for the Premier League.
Yeah,
Do you think he would go though to Newcastle?
Money talks, right?
Yes.
One of the biggest things I think for an organization is I remember Man City, and arguably Newcastle has more history and more fans than Manchester City does. And, if you put the right money behind Newcastle and you get the right group of people in, not only players, but you need to have the right management structure, and they could become one of the best clubs in the world easily with the money backing, obviously. So.
But they've got an amazing stadium as well. Their stadium's brilliant, man.
It will take a few years though. It will be more like Robinho to Man City.
Yeah.
You
Also,
know what I mean?
But yeah, you can't turn them around anymore like they used to. You can't like do like Blackburn Rovers and win the league after a couple of years promotion. It's a slow grind now. But we'll see. It's good. It's good to have some other team challenging, not Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United, Man City. You know, there's Spurs. There's hopefully Everton spending a bit of money. There's other clubs, Leicester. It's good if Newcastle can join the party. Why not?
Yeah.
I also strongly feel that some of these other clubs are so well positioned right now that it'll be hard for somebody to just bring in a whole heap of new players and with no chemistry and just take over the likes of Liverpool and Manchester City right now. So it'll take a while, as they say, a slow grind.
Yeah.
Liverpool's years ahead, man. I don't think anybody's catching Liverpool anytime
Yeah.
I'd rather not talk about
soon. You want to elaborate on that?
No. I like Klopp. I think he's a good manager, and I think they play a great style of football. I think their players are top players. grew up in the Merseyside region supporting the other team, and all my pals are Reds, and the banter just hurts a lot at the moment. That's all. So I'm just a bit tender.
It's all right. We've all been there. Okay.
Yeah, I'm an Arsenal fan, and we have not been doing well for a long time now. So I started following them right after they stopped winning. So that was a perfect time to jump on after Henry left. So.
You're the problem, mate. Maybe you should stop supporting them.
Yeah, I might have to go to Everton now.
No thanks.
Or Newcastle.
Oh yeah, maybe.
I think it's time for us to move on to our game. To be honest, it was keeping me up a little bit at night, thinking about all the players. I'm still kind of hurt from last week because I was getting some comments from some of the players that Ronaldo didn't make it to the starting 11, R9, Ronaldo Luis Nazario de Lima, my idol. So I'm hoping he will be in the lineup somewhere today. Adrian?
Yeah, there was some questionable choices that you made for the battling in the positions. Some of them, I mean, there was usually one strong one, but some of them were a bit weaker. I was a bit disappointed with the selections. And no R9 is right. But this challenge, this was a hard one, man.
All right. So just to explain it to our viewers and listeners. So we've asked the coaches to come up. So every coach is in charge of one continent. So I'm doing Asia because of where I come from, Iran. Adrian is going to be in charge of all Americas. Gareth from Europe, and Ayo is going to come up with the African team. So we have been in charge of coming up with a 5-a-side squad, all-time best players, well, since 1980s. So I think, how should we do this? We're going to start with each position, starting from the goalkeeper, and then we go through every coach and see who they've picked. And then eventually, once we go through everybody's pick, we'll decide on one player and then combine the 4 teams and come up with a...
We got to straighten something out though here, because someone said to me, I don't know who it was who said, we've got to be fair and put a good player from each continent in the final team. I'm not having that. It should be the best 5 players in the team. Sorry, I'm colorblind when it comes to this.
I just think it has to be fair. One player from... No.
Hey, what are you saying? Best or fair?
What is the objective? Ideally, we want the best 5 players on the field. It doesn't matter where you're from.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's politics in football, right?
Garrett seems to be very confident about the European players, but I think Adrian is gonna, if we go with that, I think Adrian is gonna dominate big time.
In my mind, there's 2 players that if anyone disagrees with me on, I'm walking out. And they're not Europeans, by the way, but they have to be in this team.
Oh, in my team?
Well, I'm just saying they're not in Europe, but the other 3 positions are open. But if these 2 players aren't in this 5-side team, you're all getting fired from Toronto High Park.
Wow, talk about pressure, eh? I have one player too, and I actually have some serious statistics to prove that he has to be there. So, and I have it ready too. I can even show the viewers.
All right, let's see it. Okay, goalkeeper. Go on then. Asia first.
Oh man, not even a question. So should I say this with an Iranian accent or should I say it with an English accent?
Iranian's nice. Let's do that.
Ahmed Reza Abedzadeh.
Ooh.
Anybody know who that is?
Never heard of him.
Give us English version. We might know.
I lived in the Middle East for 10 years and I still never heard of him.
Abedzadeh. He used to be the Iranian national team captain for so many years. One of our biggest legends. But
interesting.
Yeah, that's my goalkeeper pick. There was nobody else better.
Shaheen, are you picking an Asian best of 5 or are you gonna just pick Iranian best of 5?
Exactly. Good question.
Just curious.
This is turning awfully political here. Right?
Hey, listen. Iran just has a rich history in Asia.
You've got Ali Al Habsi, who played Premier League for like 5 or 6 years with Wigan, won cups and stuff from Oman. He's Asian, no?
I have no idea who that is. I should have done better research, maybe.
Okay, Ayo, Africa. Let's hear it, man.
I think in my time watching football, I think there's just one goalkeeper I would rate highly. Sam El Hadri. He won the Nations Cup 4 times with Egypt recently. 8 times championship winner with Al Ali. I really couldn't find goalkeepers, and it makes sense because playing in Nigeria, we didn't really play with goalkeepers. We just played with small nets. So this is the only goalie I could think of. He's well decorated in Africa for sure.
That's why you didn't want to pick a goalkeeper, eh?
There was a message floating around that AA was going to have 5 outfield players. we put a stop to that straight away.
I was trying to think of a winning team.
All right. I can go next because I'm sure Gareth wants to be last, so we can do that.
I'm doing it. I was thinking A's, but you're all A's, right? So doesn't matter.
So
I'm not an A.
Asia.
Asia, bro.
Oh, I thought you.
This guy's thinking about Iran.
I thought you meant
Iran.
our names. I thought you meant our names because it's Adrian and Ayo.
Isn't that the way the Americans say Iran? I'm from Iran.
No,
So I decided to go with. There was many notable mentions. Obviously, Ochoa from Mexico is the one guy that I watch a lot and I liked. Dida from Brazil, I know back in the day he was good. I didn't get to see him as much as I'd like, but I went with Navas because I know Shaheen would like that. Keylor Navas won back-to-back Champions Leagues 3 times in a row. I thought that was
back to back,
right? So I think the three-peat, and that just doesn't happen in football, right? First club to ever do it. So I think I'll go with Navas for sure.
It's not a bad shout, that.
I like that.
All right, so I've gone down the line of 5-a-side players here. I'm not thinking the best 11-a-side players. Like, I'm picking players who do well in a 5-a-side game, right? So 5-a-side, smaller goals, great feet, shot stopping, quick reactions, height crosses, don't matter, right? Doesn't happen in 5-a-side. So I'm thinking, which keeper, unbelievable shot stopper, phenomenal with his feet, great reactions, doesn't need to be tall.
If you say Pickford, I'm walking out.
No.
Because he's not any of that.
Guy is making
He did. Hold on. Pickford does have small arms, and he might be good for a small leg, but
no, Pickford was close, but Fabian Barthez, World Cup winner, 5'10", not biggest man in the world, feet to die for, reactions unbelievable. He could play as a sweeper almost in a 5-a-side game. World Cup winner, Manchester United as well, AO.
That's tricky, yeah, man.
Barthez isn't bad. I think there's better out there, but you sold it. You made your argument and then you said it. So I rate it. I understand.
You can sell that to somebody that doesn't watch football, but I'm not buying.
That's why it's the boss. They're making the objective decisions.
What football are you talking? 11-a-side or 5-a-side? Which one?
You're saying Ter Stegen wouldn't be suitable for a 5-a-side.
No, it'd be good, but Barthez will be better.
I don't know.
It's before your time, Sheena. It's before your time.
He's got the same haircut as Ayo as well, eh?
Yeah, I like the goalie actually. Yeah.
Yeah. You just sold Ayo.
Yeah. As soon as you said Man United, Ayo was already on.
I watched him, so yeah, I like the guy.
Okay, so I think I personally am gonna go with Navas. I like Adrian's pick. Sorry, Gareth.
Yeah.
Problem. All right, I'm going with Barthez.
I'll go with Barthez actually.
So it's a 2-on-2. So what do we do as a tiebreaker?
Well, you can choose not your own. You can. I know I'm going to be choosing.
You chose your own.
Yeah, but you can choose one of the others. Eh? He can choose yours. We can choose mine. He can choose Ayo's.
Yeah, that's true. But now I'm going with Navas.
All right then. So
that's who I picked.
So then, I don't know how we're going to have to tiebreaker. We'll have to. Why don't we see put the medals next to each other and see who's won the most medals?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. I have a solution for this. I think let's move on to the next positions, and then we'll see which goalkeeper suits those players better.
All right.
We have to be able to, as coaches, come to an agreement.
All right, fair enough. Go on then. We're going defender now, eh? I've got to look at my notes. We're going defender, yeah.
Yeah.
I made notes here.
Honestly, this was for me. This was one of the more difficult picks because again in Asia you don't. My 2 players were both Japanese. I pick Nagatomo or Yoshida.
Which one?
I don't know. They're both Japanese. Yoshida is the Japanese captain. He's played alongside Van Dijk. He's a great leader. He's actually decent with his feet. Nagatomo is just a fullback. He's not necessarily a defender.
So think about it as five-a-side, eh? Five-a-side. Who's going to be the best five-a-side player?
I don't know. Nagatomo or Yoshida. I think I'll go with Nagatomo. I think he'll be.
Tell you what, I'm glad you're a coach and not a salesman.
I'll go with Nagatomo because I think he'll be better in a five-a-side.
Okay. All right.
Great low player.
What's our American counterpart going to be sending us?
It's African first, no? I can go first. I can go first this time. I went a bit controversial here. I think it's small side football, and I wanted to give some love to our Canadian talent. So I went with Alphonso Davies. I put him in the back. He's going to be a sweeper. He's going to learn from the best of the best. The players I have him alongside, he's going to definitely grow. So I'm putting Davies in there. He has to be in my squad.
You got to say athleticism. There's not many that can top him on athleticism. That's
yeah, 100%. Plus, he's a promise. Bayern Munich just updated his contract. I think he's going to be. He reminds me a little bit about like how Gareth Bale started off. I think he's going to be a similar build to Gareth Bale.
Okay, that's an interesting one.
Very interesting because all time. I don't know.
I kind of.
You know what? Sorry, I got to cut you off here. Adrian, this is going to be out and like people from Canada Soccer and Ontario Soccer are going to see this. Was this a political move for you to move up the ranks in the...
Listen, I'm just picking my best five, that's all. If things come out of it, then things come out of it,
Oh, Fonzie, as we call him.
Fonzie.
Well, in that case, I'm definitely going to get a lot of offers from Iran.
Yeah, we're going to fly you out there.
So, sorry to interrupt there. Go on, mate.
So I've thought of a 5-a-side game. I want players that can actually contribute to scoring goals. They can actually keep the ball. Complete footballers. And we see how football now, we have midfielders playing in defense. So I've picked Yaya Toure, 2 times African Player of the Year, PFA Player 2012. He was absolutely the best player in the world at that time with Man City. Champions League winners, played under Pep. Yaya Toure, complete footballer, I would say. Now, I know that on the weak side, maybe he's not physically good enough, but my next player in midfield, I think, complements Yaya Toure pretty well. So I will go with Yaya Toure in defense. He can keep the ball, he can score for us.
When you say a player like that, it's hard to say he's not very good because Yaya Toure is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about a centre-half in a 5-a-side game, what attributes are you looking for? Rapid, 1v1 defending specialist. Aerial ability is not really a problem. Acceleration has to be there, doesn't it? It can't be quick over like 15 yards. He's got to be quick over like 5. And he's got to be in your face and aggressive. Right?
Nagatomo.
So it could be. Or I'm saying World Cup winner, absolute all-round legend, Cannavaro.
Cannavaro, yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
He can play as well. With the ball at his feet, he's not bad at his feet either. With Barthez behind him, making up for passes and sweeping around. Tell you what, Yaya Toure is unbelievable. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sure as a centre half in 5-a-side, he's the main man.
Well, Ayo built his team around his talent, right? So he might have the midfield to back up the Yaya Toure in the back.
I actually have a midfield to back up Yaya.
What about Kolo? Kolo was a natural centre back.
Natural centre back, but when you play 5-a-side, you find yourself in different positions based on the game. I want someone Yaya can score for me at any time in the game. Okay. It's also anticipation. I trust Yaya to anticipate. If he has support, which I have 2 players that will support him pretty well. So
all right.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to move on. Yeah. I'm
not saying it's bad.
I'm gonna go with Adrian. I'm gonna go with Alphonso Davies.
What?
I just don't think Cannavaro.
Is this candid camera? Is something going on here?
I just don't think Cannavaro. If you're talking 5 aside, 11 aside, if you were doing 11 aside, I would go with Cannavaro. 5 aside, I'm sorry, but you
And
need
you just
some
broke
sort
my
of.
heart. You picked Alfonso over Cannavaro and Yaya Toure.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I did, and trust me. When Adrian said Alfonso Davies at the beginning, I was like, whoa. But now that I'm thinking, I think you have the physicality, you have the pace, great with the feet, great defender.
Are we talking about like potential? Or are we talking about what they can do, what they've done, what at their peak? At their peak.
No.
I'll just get into this. I was picking this based on a little bit of bias, right? And that's my own 5. Mascherano was actually going to be my center back, other than Davies.
Mascherano.
But again, I went for bias. But I'll pick Cannavaro if it's an all-time best 5, because he was a baller back in the day, and he fits it a little bit better. So
Mate,
okay.
but
Alfonso Davies is gonna be our top player, but I'm sorry, he doesn't get into this team right now.
Yeah. If we pick based on right now, then it's a prospect, right? And that's what I do.
Yeah. Maybe that's
Okay.
that's a future podcast for your prospect team.
Yeah. That's true.
That's okay.
So you picked Cannavaro as well, or Yaya?
I stand by Yaya.
Yeah. So I think we'll give it to Cannavaro.
Cannavaro. Okay.
Yeah. Cannavaro.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
you want one European in. I'm not hopeful for the rest of the squad, So at least I got one in.
Okay, Cannavaro. Okay, let's move on to midfield. So the way I had set up my team, was I was going with a keeper 1-2-1. So two midfielders on the wings.
Yeah.
So I have on the right side I have Park Ji-sung. I think his career at Man United.
Yeah.
I couldn't just not pick him.
Yeah.
So
Good player.
should I mention both or just one?
Yeah, do both.
And Son, from
Son,
Spurs.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody. Yeah. So those are my 2 midfielders.
Good. That's
You want to go next, Ayo, or you want me to go?
Yeah, I'll go next. So supporting Yaya on one side, so I want 2 central mids, one more central, one acting as a wide finisher. So I've had Michael Essien on one side. We know that in his time, probably one of the best complete midfielders in the world.
Yeah.
And then we have Samuel Eto'o on the other side, playing similarly the role he played with Inter Milan when they won the Champions League. On the left side, he's a workhorse. He will come back to defend. He will contribute to the attack. So I have Eto'o, Essien supporting Yaya. I think that that's a solid team.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, not bad players then.
So for my team, once again, Alfonso Davies is my center back because he's going to pick up the slack for these 2 magicians. So Messi, left side, you got to have him in your squad. Ronaldinho, right side, got to have him in your squad. And they do what they want. I don't care what they do. They just go and enjoy their football, have some fun. Ronaldinho and Messi. You heard it here first.
2 good players, man. 2 good players. I've got...
Who cares? I don't think you need to mention yours at this point.
Yeah, well, they're not... Right, I'm sorry, but I have to ask you, Adrian, did you ever hear of a little player called Maradona?
Yeah. I heard about Maradona.
He didn't make it into your midfield now?
No. I had to go with Messi and Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho is my preference, and I honestly think Messi is probably... it's between him and Ronaldo, best players of all time. So Ronaldinho is my favorite. Like, I love Ronaldinho.
I must say, those 2 players made it to our first podcast.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm too old, man, but Maradona not getting into a 5-a-side team,
But
he'd be devastated with that, you know that.
Did he play in the 80s though? Or was it? Okay.
80s and 90s?
Yeah, well, anyhow, I left him out. Messi, too much controversy in my 5-a-side team. I don't want him to...
Let's be honest. This is one of the hardest teams I've ever picked because there's so many good players to squeeze into 5 spots. But I've gone with Zidane in the middle.
Yeah.
Everything, composure, beat people, scores goals, strong, bit of a bully. Good, doesn't mind a tackle, does the defensive work a little bit if needed. And we're talking at people at their peak, right? We're talking picking this player when they're at their peak. You call me biased if you like, but Wayne Rooney, when he was at his peak, was unbelievable. He's aggressive. He's a competitor. He scores goals. He would
in the midfield.
In the midfield of a 5-a-side.
He wasn't a midfielder in his peak. He was a striker.
listen, we're talking five-a-side, right? He would have been all over that five-a-side park. I'm telling you right now, he would have been bullying people left and right. He's a street player. Rooney is a street player.
I think you picked Rooney just because you knew he had no chance up front as a striker, so you squeezed him into the midfield.
One thing I'd like to say about Rooney, Rooney in his old age when he came to LA, to DC, was it DC or Houston? Whichever one.
DC.
I don't know if you guys remember, he's over 30, made that recovery run, made the tackle, and then set up an assist. And when I saw him in his prime with Tevez, him and Tevez, they were monsters together. So I think in a five-a-side, he'd do pretty decent in the midfield.
Manchester United's top scorer ever, England's top scorer ever. I mean, he's not bad. He's not a bad player. He's up there. But, those two, Zidane's up there, but I've got to say, I thought there was two nailed-on spots there, and it was Messi, Maradona in the midfield. I've got to say, I feel a bit disappointed for poor old Diego. He's been left out. He'll be devastated.
Okay.
And one thing, the reason I left him out, I never got to see him as much, but Ronaldinho mesmerized me as a kid, and Messi mesmerized me as an adult. So Maradona, we know he's a legend. He's probably arguably one of the best, but he's not in my squad.
I think we have to make a decision. We have to move quicker than this.
All right, I'm definitely saying Messi, and I might go down with Zidane, Messi and Zidane.
Ayo, who are you gonna pick?
I've been thinking about it. As a pair, I would go with Messi and Ronaldinho, but as a team, including the goalie, the defense, I think I would go with Team Europe actually.
You don't have to.
You can pick one of it either. You can go with any.
How can you not pick Ronaldinho in a five-a-side? I'm gonna go Ronaldinho.
I can easy. He wouldn't run backwards. He wouldn't work hard. He wouldn't run back.
That's why you got Davies on your team. He's doing all the running. He's the kid. You just make him run. He's the
exactly.
Five-a-side. Everyone's got to be a grafter, man.
I think we can all agree on Messi. There's no reason why we shouldn't put Messi in.
Messi's in.
I'll go Ronaldinho. Messi, Ronaldinho. I'm picking all Adrian's picks.
He's going in my squad 100%. So you guys figure out the next midfielder. Ronaldinho.
Ayo, who are you saying, man? Messi and who?
Eto'o for the goals.
Eto'o.
Yeah.
I always remember Eto'o as a forward, man. I don't remember him as a midfielder.
Well,
that's
exactly what you're doing, Rooney, Gary.
No, mate. Eto'o's like an Henry long run sprinter, getting onto long balls. Like Rooney was just a fighter. He was just holding balls up and bullying people and beating people.
No, I agree with that, but I'm just saying. Okay, Messi.
And well, 2 votes for Ronaldinho. So
Ronaldinho.
They've got to be in. They've got to be in.
Done.
I just hope that you're going to have someone who's willing to work for Ronaldinho because he ain't running backwards.
It's okay. We got Cannavaro at the back, so we're good.
You're right, said.
Okay. For the striker, I'm going to go last because I don't think anybody's going to be able to argue with me. But let's hear from Gareth. You go first. Let Europe go first.
All right. I wrote a little note, right? Because I thought, I'm going to give it.
It's selling time.
This person is just a born winner. Incredible acceleration. Remember, five-a-side, got to be quick. Unbelievable feet. Probably one of the best leaders I've seen in a team sport. Scores more goals than anyone else. Cristiano Ronaldo. Next.
Okay.
Fair.
Ayo, go.
George Weah. I mean, we're speaking about an African player who won the Ballon d'Or, FIFA player of the European player of the year. So
complete legend.
As an African player won this, I think we should just give it to him, to be fair.
I don't know about that, but
I definitely think he's really good. Well, me again, I'm picking my team. I'm biased. I'm political. This is my five-a-side team that I'm going on the plane with. I'm rolling. Has to have a Trinidadian in there. Dwight Yorke, the legend from Manchester United. I don't care about R9. I don't care about nobody else. Me and Dwight Yorke are going to be drinking rums after we win the five-a-side tournament. Dwight Yorke, everybody.
You got Dwight Yorke and Ronaldinho in your team. Basically, everyone else
and me as a coach.
Everyone else has got to do some serious running now, eh?
Oh my God! No R9, Adrian. No Ronaldo.
No, man, Hey,
I'm so
again, if I was to be
disappointed.
unbiased, 100%, it has to be R9. Probably Pele or Maradona, one of these guys up top. But Dwight York, he's my guy. That's who I pick.
All right.
Okay, okay.
Oh, I just
Um,
realized the quality of players, Adrian, you had to pick from.
Yes.
Oh.
I probably.
You forgot there was a South America in the Americas, didn't you?
oh my God.
Man, you could just, this whole team, I honestly, when I first looked, I was going to make it all Brazilian. But I was like, I don't need to make it interesting. So, except for
Okay.
Messi.
It doesn't matter, guys, because I don't think anybody's going to be able to argue with my pick. I've picked the all-time international goal scorer, top goal scorer in the world, ahead of Cristiano Ronaldo, ahead of anybody else. We're talking about the player that has scored the most number of goals on the international level, Ali Daei.
To be fair, he has.
Who's this guy?
He scored some goals, Ali Day.
Yeah, Ali Day. Okay.
Right time, right place. He will score the goals for you. You have Ronaldinho behind him, Messi behind him. Just feed him all the balls. He'll do the tappings. That's it.
Not bad.
So now are we going to choose Africa or Europe?
I don't know,
Like,
man.
Dwight York, top player, man. But
Yeah.
he can't get in the world of five-a-side team. Sorry.
I tried to pull some strings, Dwight York, but they weren't having.
Ali Daei scored goals, but the level he was playing at, I'm not sure.
And to be honest, they were mostly like headers, but
So who did you say again, Aya?
George
Yeah.
Weah.
Say again?
George Weah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. He's a legend, but between him and Ronaldo, I don't know which one I'm gonna pick. I think I'm gonna go with Weah. I'm gonna go with Weah to be controversial. Screw it. I don't care. I've been controversial all day.
George Weah was a player, man. George Weah was fantastic. Five-a-side, don't know. It's tough. It's a tough one. I'm going to go with Cristiano just because he's European. I've picked him. We've got a few Portuguese coaches who would need me to back him. So yeah.
my question is, will Ronaldo and Messi will get along on that team?
I think they will.
Or is this their chance to finally play together on the same team?
Imagine them both on that team, man.
I think they're at that. I think with the maturity that comes with their game now, I think they will be really enjoying playing with each other. Because Messi is more dribble, he's more finished. So I think it'll be fun. As adults, right?
Or they can get selfish. He's gonna want the goals for himself, and Ronaldo's gonna want to score all the goals. You can get nasty.
Yeah, that's true.
I think. Are we going to do subs as well? You talk about subs, eh?
We can have two subs.
Because I was thinking George Weah could be a good sub to bring on.
No, Ali Daei. Come on. If the feed is not working out, you got somebody that can finish with his head.
I'm not sure. Ali Daei gets in the World
about that,
Five-a-side
man.
team.
This guy hasn't won anything major, man. Like, why? He's just scored a lot of goals. He can't be.
It's just unfortunate he was born the place he was born at. If he was born in Brazil, he would have won the World Cup for sure.
100%.
5 times.
Like even Dwight York won Champions League, Premier League, all of that. He won the treble, right? So, there's no way you can make it in front of him.
Okay.
Good players,
okay.
man.
I'm gonna go with Cristiano. I think Ronaldo has to be there. If we're talking,
so I'm gonna sway my vote to Cristiano as well. Sorry, Weah, but I'm gonna just so we can move on, right? But Weah is definitely one of my favorite players as well.
So here's my thing, right? If you're gonna do subs, you got to have that talented lazy bloke, the one who could just turn a game in like 5 seconds, right? For your sub, you're struggling. You need someone who's never going to work that hard, but for 5 minutes he can be incredible.
A super sub.
Yeah, I'm calling Paul Gascoigne for mine. Gaza. Apparently Gaza in five-a-side was unbelievable.
I could imagine.
Yeah.
I could imagine.
That's what I'm calling.
I don't know. I think we need to go back to our goalkeeper situation. We haven't decided yet.
Who's it between?
Or Bartes. Navas or Bartes.
Navas or Bartes.
We have Cannavaro, Ronaldinho, Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah. I don't know.
So who's our centre back? We going with Yaya Toure? No, Cannavaro.
No,
Cannavaro,
Cannavaro. Like think about it, Navas. He's quick.
Hold on,
His
please.
agility.
Sorry, this is five-a-side. You have Messi, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo in a five-a-side game with high intensity running. No way, these guys are gonna play football, guys. Look at the head in 5% is intense.
No, but to be fair, Ronaldinho in his prime ran up and down. Like Messi in his prime ran up and down as well, right? So
Also, Ronaldinho is gonna have the ball the whole time. He doesn't need to. Know what I mean?
It's going to be an entertaining team anyway. That's for sure.
for sure.
They'll score some goals.
Okay, so Barton.
Poor old Cannavaro is going to be covering all kinds of ground, isn't he?
Yeah. He's gonna
Well,
be
he has. I think he'll do solid. Okay, I'm going with Navas for the goalkeeper. Let's go.
I picked Navas, but I picked Navas. Simple as that.
I'll go with Navas then. I'll take him over Bartes. I'll take him over Bartes. Sorry, Ayo. I know you're Man United, affinity, but it is.
All right.
It is what it is.
Okay, so are we having two subs in case Ronaldinho runs out of gas?
I actually was thinking about one of my subs, Adrian, one of your heroes, Ian Wright.
Ian Wright,
phenomenal five-a-side player.
Oh yeah, that's my guy.
Guys, R9 has to make the bench at least. Come on.
Yeah, for sure. Again, R9 would have been in my squad if it wasn't for Dwight York. So unfortunately,
you take one Ronaldo out, put the second Ronaldo in.
Yeah. I think R9 is definitely on that bench.
Done.
Yeah. Although R9, I'm going to say this: R9 was probably almost the perfect 11-a-side player. I'm not sure he would be the perfect five-a-side. He'd be very, very, very good five-a-side, but perfect five-a-side player, I'm not sure.
That's true. Fair enough.
Different though. We need different types of players in case something's not working.
See, I think can turn quick, incredible acceleration, 1v1 specialist. I'm looking like that's what I'm looking for. Eden Hazard, Sergio Aguero, those kind of players. They're for me five-a-side players.
I think we need some defensive stability in here though, so maybe SCN would be a good shout.
Huh?
Oh,
SCN on the bench. After Ronaldinho and them get tired, maybe throw him in because we definitely need some cover at some point.
It's going to be like 5-0 and then we'll all get tired and then the goals will start coming. We'll have to get someone in to build the bus.
So do we agree with Adrian's pick, SEN, on the bench?
Well, it is Ayo's pick. So what do you guys think?
I'd put him on the bench, yeah. You'd let Ronaldo score a hat-trick and then replace him, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Sorry, Ronaldinho.
Ronaldinho, yeah.
All right. So R9 and SCN on the bench.
R9 and SCN, yeah. I think that's good.
Not bad. That'll work. That'll work.
Yeah.
Should we? Since we're all coaches, we have to pick a coach. I know. I just do this right now. We'll twist at the end.
A coach from that country, from that continent.
Just a five-a-side coach from any of the continents.
Johan Cruyff.
Johan Cruyff, yeah.
I think I agree with that.
You're stealing from Europe now. Is that what you're saying? Are you? You can't find an African coach.
I think that's it. I think that's a brilliant idea. Actually, I like it. Cruyff it is.
Cruyff could be the man. To be fair.
I'll pick Cruyff too. Why not?
All right.
Yeah.
That was easy. All right, guys. We got Navas, Cannavaro, Messi, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, R9 on the bench, SEN, and Cruyff is going to lead them to glory.
Not a bad five-a-side. Sorry about that, Asia. We'll get an Asian player in there soon one day.
Yeah, in the 11-a-side, they probably will get a little love.
Oh, Ali Dai would be there for sure.
How many Africans do we get in?
We only got one in.
One, SEN.
And Dwight York is from African ancestry. I got you, Ayo. Don't worry.
That's wrong, man, isn't it? That's wrong. Africa's produced so many players. We haven't even got a starting on the five-a-side.
It's okay.
Sadio Mane.
Oh.
Oh, too late, Ayo. Too late.
Yeah. See, it's tough, right? Because it's only 5 players, and you got to go for who you love and who's the best as well, right? So that's what my 5 reflect.
I think I've got to say though, and like as much as I respect and appreciate you as coaches, that Maradona not getting in, even in the continent squad, is just right.
Listen, man.
He didn't even make the best.
Maradona, man. I grew up with Ronaldinho, man. That's my guy. But Maradona, obviously, he carried the continent on his back. Not the continent, sorry, his country.
I think if Messi never existed, Maradona would be there for sure. I think Messi just stole his legacy.
Well, I don't know about stealing his legacy, but he's definitely in the conversation.
He's took the limelight away from him a bit, and
Yeah.
Maradona's behaviour since hasn't always
Yes.
like helped him out, right?
Yeah.
He's a bit of a character.
All right. Well, we're running out of time, guys. That took quite a bit of time, but I think we got a good team. Thank you guys for joining the episode. I hope
Yeah,
you
no
had
worries.
fun.
I'm not sure everyone's going to enjoy us arguing about it, but it was fun to do it. Like,
Yeah, no, this is good quality, and we'll have some debates on the squad we picked in the end, but who cares, right?
All right. Anybody got anything else to say before we wrap it up?
thanks for having
No.
us, man.
Thank
No
you.
problem.
Thank you for having us.
We're going to spend Saturday. Thanks.
No problem. My pleasure. So
guys.
that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you enjoyed the coach's pick for the five-a-side squad. If you agree, disagree, or if you think there's any other players that should have been there and deserve to be in that squad, please let us know. You can leave your comment on our Instagram page at lets.talk.footy. You can also listen to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Buzzsprout. Please make sure you share the podcast with people that you know love football and would enjoy listening to us. Thank you, and until next time, take care.